And we'll start this hour off with the salty one, the salty A, Adam Oslin, host of the Clipper pregame, halftime, postgame show, and, of course, his own YouTube channel on the Clippers. Salty, what's going on?
Everything's good. At Clippers Talk, if you want to find that YouTube channel. At Follow Adam A, if you want to find me there on
At
X.
Clippers Talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them Clippers, Adam. They lose twice to the Lakers. Yeah, I know.
Why couldn't you guys have brought me on like last Thursday or Friday? Why did it have to be a setup like this where you wait till after the season series?
Just talk about it, though, Adam. Just the feeling. I mean, the Clippers have obviously had the Lakers' number for years now, and then they lose back-to-back games to them. First of all, what does that do for the Lakers, and what does that really do for the Clippers now going forward in terms of their mentality?
So going back to the 2012 season, or the 2011-2012 season, the Clippers are 38-13 against the Lakers their last 51 games. They had the first 11 games they won with Coach Lue as their head coach. And now the last 2 years, the Lakers have won the season series, 3-1. Things have flipped. And obviously they have all the momentum right now with the acquisition of Luka Doncic. It's like, it's bad enough that they get a superstar player like that for, I'm not going to say free, but they did fleece Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks. But what makes it worse is it's the Clippers' ultimate nemesis, the guy who averages his most points per game against the Clippers. Now, they have beat him twice in the playoffs. He's beaten them once last season. But you see him talking junk to the Clippers bench on Sunday. He's getting his confidence back. That's the Luka I know. That's how he always performs against the Clippers. And, guys, what's crazy is he hasn't even been that good yet. He's shooting under 40% from the field in his 8 games so far. He's shooting under 30% from 3. And they're still 6-2. And they're the hottest team in the league going back to mid-January. And so you get this jet fuel to help you rise even further up the ranks with Luka Doncic on your team. LeBron gets a playoff ball. Oh, I heard he couldn't do that. Oh, I heard it wouldn't work. I heard from Charles Barkley, guys who played the game. They know best, right? Wrong. Nico's wrong, too. The utter incompetence of this happening.
Oh, here we go.
And I feel for Dallas Mavericks fans.
Here we go.
Like, I'm not calling for anyone's job, but I would call for and organize a walkout. If I was a Dallas Mavericks fan, if this happened to my childhood team and I was back up in Sacramento and they traded, C. Webb at his peak to the Lakers, I'd organize a walkout. I'd say enough of this. Like, I can't support this. We have to do something here. This guy is actively working against our best interests as a franchise. It's unbelievable. Today the news comes out that Kyrie Irving tears his ACL. Anthony Davis played 1/2 of a game with the Dallas Mavericks. Could this get any worse? And by the way, after they let Luka go, guess who led the league in minutes? Kyrie Irving. Do you think there was some wear and tear going on there? Because you let go of Luka Doncic, so he had to shoulder the load, and now he tears his ACL? It's an explosive movement. Maybe it happens anyways. But all of it looks terrible right now. The optics are unbelievably bad in Dallas. And I don't know what's going to happen to Nico Harrison, who apparently thought he was the smartest man in the world. He said to everybody else, "You're wrong, I'm right, and I'm going to prove it." And you know what he's going to end up being? The face of incompetence that everybody looks towards. Like, he's the definition of incompetence. They have destroyed that franchise. He thought they were going to have like some 2 to 5 year window.
Yes.
That window might already be shut. AD might not come back this season, and Kyrie's going to be out for a year. Who had a player option. Maybe he opts out and leaves because he came there to play with Luka, by the way. He can't get the money now, and that's terrible, and I feel terrible for him because he tore his ACL at the wrong time. But really? When are they going to be a contender now? Meanwhile, he saves the Lakers and might have opened up a 10-year window that they wouldn't have had otherwise because he gave him Luka Doncic. When does somebody trade a top 5 player that just turned 26 in the new modern NBA? When does this happen? It is so unbelievable that a guy could be so upset with his superstar and so infatuated with Anthony Davis because they had ties at Nike that he would make a move like this. Like, I'm sorry. I've tried to be nice. I try to be like, if Dallas is healthy, actually, they could be really good. His whole logic of, well, we can't be a great defense with Luka Doncic. The hell are you talking about? They were the number one defense after the trade deadline last year, where I actually thought he did a good job bringing in P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford. They had Luka and Kyrie Irving in their starting backcourt, and they still were the number one defense that helped them get all the way to the NBA Finals, even with supposed liabilities on that end from two guys who are a sieve defensively in Kyrie and Luka. So if it matters so much that you can't have Luka out there and still be a good defense, well, I don't know. The Lakers are still a good defense right now, and you got to the NBA Finals partially because you were such a good defense last season, even with Luka. Like, none of this makes sense.
Well, all right, the fans in Dallas.
Let it go, Adam. Let it go, Adam.
Fans in Dallas are very upset. You know this.
Apparently, I'm one of them right now because I feel for them.
All right, they brought signs to the game and stuff.
They brought signs. They brought a coffin outside the arena. They said our franchise is dead. They had a service.
Oh, wow.
They have been irate, understandably.
Let it go, Adam. Let it go, baby. Get it all out.
But they brought the signs in, then the Mavericks took the signs away.
Yes, they kicked a guy out for mouthing on the Jumbotron. I don't know if he won a prize or something like that. For whatever reason he was on the Jumbotron, he mouthed, "Fire Nico." That guy was kicked out of the game. That's how you're going to treat your fans? Oh, by the way, ticket sales just went up yesterday by 8%. I thought that was a clickbait story, but apparently it's true. Like, this is bizarro world, all this stuff happening to them. Like, this is an absolute living nightmare for Dallas Mavericks fans. For Dallas Mavericks former owners. Mark Cuban is a minority owner now. He didn't get consulted on any of this. So the conspiracy theories are flying all over the place. I get it. I think it's just incompetence, and it's not the NBA forcing them to trade Luka Doncic and forcing Nico Harrison to trade him to the Lakers, because now we're going to end up with the Lakers-Boston Celtics NBA Finals during, I don't know, last 5 years we've been talking about NBA ratings. Like, what would help that more than anything? What do you think just happened in Major League Baseball? We got Dodgers and Yankees, and the playoff ratings were outstanding, right? Maybe the same thing happens. Lakers-Boston Finals. I don't think it's a conspiracy like that, but I understand why everybody's throwing this stuff out there now.
Listen. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be Nico Harrison here for a second.
Here comes Uncle Fred.
You basically already are.
I'm going to be Nico Harrison.
Here come Uncle Fred.
You know what?
Freddie.
You say what you want right now. Sure, it doesn't look good for us now, but in a couple of years, you'll see what we were saying is right.
Are you going to be there to see the promised land, Nico? I'm not so sure about that. Is the franchise still going to be in Dallas at that time? I'm not sure about that. There's no logic or rationale that makes sense here. This is utter incompetence with a guy who had way too much hubris and thought he could be the smartest person in the world. I'm going to show everybody. Instead, it's going the other way.
Yeah, but the owner could have said, don't do that.
I don't know. What is the reporting on that?
She's behind it. That's what the report is. She's behind it. She wants to move the team, and she said, "You're not going to let me do." Okay, then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the whole fan base hate me and hate us. So we got to go.
Why in the world would you want to leave the Dallas market?
Right.
Why would you leave a market that size?
I don't buy it. This is one guy making a terrible decision, and the ownership group probably emboldened their basketball people and trusted them to do the right thing. Yeah, we stand behind it. What else are they going to say? They'll stand behind it until there's a walkout, until they're not making any money.
They want that casino next to the arena, connected. That's what they want.
If that's the end game,
yeah,
there's still better ways to go around this, to go about this. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Nobody has. Like, the Herschel Walker trade, I don't think was first guessed as much as this is, right? This is DOA. It's dead on arrival. Hence the coffin outside the arena. Everybody knew this was bad day one. Luka isn't even hitting his stride yet, and the Lakers can't lose a game. What happens when he does? Dallas is going to fall out of the play-in now without Kyrie. Anthony Davis, they should probably just shut him down. If there was any question, maybe he can come back.
He's not playing anymore.
Forget it.
No, he's not playing anymore.
Embiid him. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Their season's over.
Shockingly stupid.
Season's done. Going back to the Clippers, Adam, how did they turn it around? How did they get going? Because they're slipping, and I heard you the other day. They're falling to the play-in game. They may fall out of the mix entirely. What do they got to do to turn this around?
Play through Kawhi, and hopefully he can carry them down the stretch here because they're still missing Norman Powell. He comes back for 9 minutes. And if you didn't think he should have been an all-star, go look at their record without Norman Powell this season. Go look at their shooting numbers without him. He's their leading scorer. He's been incredible. So most people are wondering, what's going on with the Clippers? Why are they on this skid? I don't know. Norman Powell has played 9 minutes since the All-Star break. And then he got hurt. And now he's out for who knows how long. But their hope is what we saw from Kawhi that last game out against the Lakers. He was fabulous. You could argue he looked like the best player in the game, 33 points, and he played 40 minutes. Most minutes he's played in the game since late 2023. The hope is they start playing through him more. And James Harden, who has looked gassed and tired from carrying this team through the first 40 games of this season, gives the ball up to Kawhi, and they make sure it's a seamless handing of the baton to Kawhi. Okay, your turn. I need you to carry us right now. The problem is they still have 5 more back-to-backs, I believe.
Oh.
So we already know he's missing 5 games. One of those games on the front end or the back end of the back-to-back. For instance, they're in Phoenix tonight. Then they have Detroit at home tomorrow. Kawhi's likely missing one of those games. The entire point of this season was to just get to the playoffs with a healthy Kawhi. Just get there with a healthy Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he is healthy right now, but they're in danger of sliding so far down the standings, they could miss the play-in if they continue losing like this. They've lost 5 of 6. They have to turn it around now. Like you got to step on the gas now. You can't wait till the playoffs to start. The playoffs have started, in essence, just to get in. And also falling into the play-in tournament, well, that's a crapshoot. That could turn into a single elimination game if you're a 9 or 10th seed. So this is obviously DEFCON 1 right now, what's going on with the Clippers at this point of the season. A month ago, things were looking much better. It was, hey, get Kawhi fully up to speed, match him with this defensive level they've been playing at, and they could shock anybody in a 7-game series. Now it's like, we got to get to a 7-game series first. That's the problem.
All right. I got to tell you, I said this earlier in the year, I think you're on. There was a point where I said, I'll take the Clipper roster over the Lakers. I said that this year.
I know.
And
then everything went wrong since then, Fred. F you. The mush. The jinx.
Yes.
But
he bet the horse. He bet the horse? Oh, he bet the horse.
I said it.
It's over. It's over.
All right, but now I look at this, and Luka comes, and all of a sudden, it's things have really shifted. And that's apparent because the Clippers haven't been winning. But the perception and the interest in the market, it's really different. However the Clippers were inching up and they were having a good year and I thought their roster was better, all of a sudden it was like a tidal wave with Luka on the Lakers.
A month ago, Lakers fans, they wanted Genie out. They wanted Rob out. They felt like, why are we hoarding picks? Why are we not making a big move? What are we waiting for? It's the end of LeBron and AD. Are we going for it or not? Are we just in purgatory, middle of the pack team? Hey, if we get the right matchups, maybe we get to the Western Conference Finals and lose the Denver Nuggets or the OKC Thunder. How quickly things change with one interesting decision made by Nico Harrison to breathe life into the franchise that looked to be going nowhere fast in the Los Angeles Lakers. It's that simple. And by the way, even before they got Luka, LeBron has been incredible. LeBron has been playing out of his mind. JJ is not lying about what he's been doing defensively. It's not 48 minutes of defense, but he has been good. And with the carry job he has been doing, because Luka's only played 8 games. Well, their last 22 games, They have the number one defense in the league. They're 10th offensively. They're 18-22, or they won 18 of 22, I should say. So they're 18-4 over that time. They've been good for a while, and they bring in Luka. And everything comes up roses for the Lakers, it feels like. Lakers always land on their feet. Like, they had 5 straight losing seasons. Those dark years where Jordan Clarkson was out there and Kobe's trying to play after coming back off the Achilles. For 5 straight years, they averaged 25 wins per game. And what happens? LeBron says, I want to go there. I want to go play there. So for everybody hating on LeBron James in this era, how quickly you forget how bad things were beforehand, before he injected clutch sports and everything. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, really? I got a long memory. You're averaging 25 wins per season over 5 years. They weren't going anywhere. And now, does LeBron get credit for J.J. Redick? What happened to all that?
Hold on, Adam.
I hit a sore spot.
Freddie, steady Freddie.
No, keep going.
What did you just say,
He
Adam?
said, does he get credit for J.J. Redick? Go ahead.
Well, here's my point. It seems to be that when a move doesn't work out, they pin it on LeBron.
Right.
So if a move is working out now, and LeBron is the de facto shadow GM, does he still get credit or no? Because I'm telling you, this wasn't just Luka. Things were going right before they got Luka. Their defense was great, and guys were buying in before that.
What do you think of J.J. Redick?
I told you guys before the season, I'm a big fan.
See how you went past that, Adam?
Deflecting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, but I mean, seriously.
Right past it,
No, we'll put him in the grinder here. We're not gonna let this go with Fred.
It's all good.
Look, I have always been a fan of his mentality, of his modern NBA approach, the Old Man and the Three podcast. I am a big fan of J.J. Redick. I thought he would be a good head coach. It's funny, like 2 months ago, people were still saying, well, I don't see how good he is. He still has the same record at this point that Darvin Ham had
That's
last 2
true.
seasons.
People said that.
What happened now? What, people still talk about that? Because his record's way better. And the team defensively, while losing their best defensive player in Anthony Davis, has completely bought into this scrambling, swarming, small ball approach that he always wanted to use out there. He always wanted to take more threes. Now he has a team that fits his coaching style. It's perfect. Do I think they're going to be the number one defense over the next 22 games? No, I don't. They got a 6-8 coming up, which nobody else has in the league. It's because of the fires in Southern California and the rescheduling. There's going to be some regression there. But what happens if Luka Doncic progresses to the mean and actually starts shooting the ball way better? Well, their offense has room to get better. So even if their defense goes down a little bit, their offense might pick them up. This team is legit. They're a top 4 team, I think, right now in the NBA. They're at worst top 5. That Lakers-Boston Celtics finals is on the table again.
So do you think they can win the West?
Yes.
You think they can beat OKC?
I think they can. Because OKC is still so dependent on SGA that if you take him away, here's the difference. You double blitz trap SGA and get the ball out of his hands. Who's he passing it to? Okay, Chet on the perimeter. He's not going to do much on the interior. He's passing it to J-Dub, who got the all-star spot over Norman Powell. I didn't think that was correct. I think he's a good player. When Luka gets blitzed, he passes it to LeBron. And the Lakers have a 4-on-3 advantage with the ball in the hands of LeBron James to orchestrate the offense. That's the difference. They have the 2 best passers to ever play next to one another. They have the 2 best decision makers to ever play next to one another out there on the court. All this is still dependent on LeBron being able to stay healthy, and he did look gassed on Sunday. He actually had a bad game, 6 of 17. He had 6 turnovers. I think Luka had 8. They combined for 14, and they still won the game. Their margin for error is so wide right now, but they do have to stay healthy.
And you know what? That was the thing in the past that people were talking about, the margin for error. And I think LeBron talked about it, too, before the trade. We don't have a lot of margin for error. We've got to do everything almost perfectly.
Yeah. And now they can make these mistakes and they can recover from them. And for LeBron, to get this shot in the arm by having a guy who plays in a similar fashion as him. He knows where he's going to be on the court. Having someone that cerebral out there, it's perfect for him late in his career.
Do you think he knew? We kicked this around earlier because Colin suggested this morning. Everybody said nobody knew. It was a surprise to everybody. You really think it was a surprise to LeBron?
As in, he knew like a week before or a day before?
He knew before.
What's before? Because JJ knew before that game started against the New York Knicks what was coming. And he had a smirk on his face. And he knew it was happening. Did LeBron know then? Maybe, before they played that game. But I don't think he had a significant heads up. I don't. I think they kept it under wraps, and I don't think they needed to tell LeBron about that. That was probably the first time they did not consult him on a player move. And he's warned guys before. Look, the Russ thing, that blew up in their face. I think he and Clutch were always on the inner circle when it came to Lakers moves until this one. I really don't think he knew. I do think he had to put on a sad face afterwards, even though he was ecstatic because he didn't want Anthony Davis to be hurt because that's his boy. But he knew what he was getting. They won the trade. He knew this could extend his career.
He was clapping on the inside. He was toasting on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He went from 6 to noon pretty quick. It was perfect. It's perfect for him. Why are more people talking about how LeBron has conquered his big flaw of outside shooting? He's a 40% three-point shooter on high volume the last 2 seasons now. That's pretty incredible. We'll never see a player this good this late into his career.
I think J.J. Redick said when he got the job, he wanted LeBron to shoot from the outside. People aren't giving him enough credit.
No, he's at 39% from 3 right now. He was at 40% from 3 last season. And he had a stretch where I think he went 0 for 20 at one point this year, where everybody's like, is this the end? Is LeBron washed? If you take that out, I think he's at like 44% from 3 on the season. Like that's the difference. He can play off ball. He can catch and shoot next to Luka. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hands all the time. But yeah, I never had any doubts about this working strategically with them too. I did have doubts about how does the defense respond with them not being able to get that perfect big man to pair next to them when they missed out on the Mark Williams trade and that gets nixed.
Right.
I thought, okay, that might take them out of the running of winning a championship this year. But I still said, and I said it to you guys, it's Luka and LeBron. I can't necessarily completely count them out. And I'm not now either.
All right, Clippers and Suns tonight here on the radio station. You're on at what, 6?
Pre-game Clippers countdown starting at 6, Freddie.
All right, so you're on during
6, Freddie.
The pregame show. Now, and if the game, you could be on during the game at some point. You could be on.
Me and Carlo are chatting during the entire game. He brings me on all the time. It's amazing.
It's just really, if you cut to the chase from how you started to where you're at, it's your broadcast.
It's me and Carlo.
But I mean, you start it, you finish it, you let him talk.
I'm the first voice and the last voice.
Right, you let him talk a little in the middle about what's going on. No,
hey, the meat and potatoes is Carlo Jimenez, okay?
You're just letting him do a little bit of what's happening, but you're in there
Don't
too.
You try to divide us and bring a wedge between us, Fred. You polarizing son of a bitch.
Adam, thank you for coming in. Good job.
Great stuff, Adam. Great stuff, buddy.
Roggin and Rodney.
AM570.
LA Sports. LA Sports. LA Sports.
All right, could one...
Now, that's a man who gets it.
Well, he got it. I thought he was pretty good today. I'm not saying he's always good.
Oh.
But today he was very good.